I pledge allegiance to all the fine girls who we shall worship forever.
I didn't hear comfortable.
Okay. That's your corner right there.
Yes, it is. Even on my own couch, it's my
Fuck with
corner.
that corner heavy. Oh yeah, you do like that corner. She's a corner bitch.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode with the Fyne Girls. I'm Kaylah.
I'm Jada.
I'm Nique. I'm Lericka. And today we're going to be talking about what makes a good woman.
We done talked about what makes a good man. No, it's our turn now, lady.
So let's get into it.
So just be like us and you'll be alright.
Yes. Alright. Alright now, dude. Alright, so first question on the docket. Well, everybody needs to name 3 characteristics of what you think personally makes a good woman. Think?
My 3 characteristics of what makes a good woman. I haven't really thought about this.
No.
But I could tell you 3 characteristics for a man right off the bat.
No.
This woman here, I would say she's poised. My second one would be level-headed. My third one would be passionate. That was hard.
Yeah, that was while you were saying them, I was thinking like,
Yeah. Listen, because I'm like, hold on, let me go so I don't miss what my mom bring.
Go ahead, girl.
Loyalty. Self-love. But with self-love, like, that's like your hustle, you know, like everything like that. Like,
so you mean like confidence or like
loving yourself.
Alright.
Because you have to have love for yourself before you can love somebody else.
Ooh, I know that's
okay.
right.
And then
So like assurance. No, not. What's the word for that?
Assurance, self-assurance.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Or
And
self-esteem.
yeah. Well, it all goes.
Yeah.
Self-assurance is all of that, in my opinion. I don't know. Oh shoot, you guys made me lose the third one.
My bad.
You're good. Balance.
Say balance, say
You know, like classy, and then whatever happens that night, that's just no business. But
Yeah,
balance.
balance is a good one.
You know, somebody's
Jada?
gotta. Oh, sorry.
Oh my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good.
I'm sorry.
We'll talk about it. You're good. Go ahead, Jada.
Ambitious. Loyal is definitely always at the top of the list for both men and women, no matter what. And I'm trying to think about, courageous.
Yeah, you know what's hard is to not think about like what a man would think a good woman is. Like in my head, I'm like, oh, how would I look at a woman and be like, oh, that's a good woman?
Exactly.
But you want to say like something a man, like a partner would want. Like you want to like just like I wanted to say something like, oh, loving, but like no, that's like I don't know.
That's why I
kinda
said
hard.
balance, because like you have to be the woman like to meet his mom or his grandma or his aunties. You know what I mean? Like that's where you get the poise.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other part of the balance is somebody need to pop off at that waiter if you know they mess up my husband's steak or something. You feel me? Like balance.
But balance can mean many different
Many
things.
things. Exactly. That's exactly why I said it. It means many things.
It's your turn, Reed. Let's hear them.
Is this?
It's a dirty talking.
3 characteristics for me, I would say personality.
Mm-hmm.
Because you gotta have a sense of humor. I would say strength. And I would say integrity.
Yeah.
That's
a good
integrity.
one. Yes.
Yep. So
Bitches be lying.
Listen.
I was one of them.
That's the past.
And drink on that note.
Right. So strength is a good one.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people would leave that characteristic out because women, especially black women, have a tendency to be too strong.
Yes.
So
I think that's important though.
yeah, it's very important.
I mean, you gotta think about it. No, you don't want to get ran over. You have to be
So
able
be strong.
to.
Yeah,
you have to
but
be
not so strong to a point where like you push people out of your
no,
life,
don't
or
do
you
that.
or you don't,
Don't do that.
or you don't allow people to come in either.
Right.
That's my downfall.
You can't be like, nigga, I don't need you.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, all right,
He
bye.
will go. Yes, he will go. Everybody will go.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna move right on to the next question.
Side note, this shit good as hell.
It is. I think.
Oh, forget all of
All right. Would you consider yourself a good woman, and why? Like, what makes you a good woman? Y'all can leave that in the comments, but for right now, we're gonna answer the question. Nique?
I would say I'm on the way. I don't know if I'd give myself a yes right now or just like straight off the back. I wouldn't give myself a yes.
That's an honest
yes.
answer.
Yes.
That's that integrity we're talking about.
Because
Integrity.
I could work on emotional balance. I could work on drive. I could work on a lot of things.
This is vulnerability, right?
Yeah.
Vulnerability is another
that would
one.
make me a better woman. And even as a partner, a better woman as a partner. Yeah.
And ownership. I was gonna say the same exact thing. Like working.
You're getting
on
into it. All right.
Yeah, I'm getting there, but I wouldn't give myself a yes. I'd give myself a almost.
I definitely agree. I would, give myself, like, say that I'm on the way there.
Yeah.
Because nobody's perfect. There's always going to be things that we can improve on. I know for me, vulnerability is definitely something that I struggle with.
Oh, yes.
I do not like opening up too much, which has been a huge downfall for me, especially within my relationship. So that's something that I am working on. And I think also emotional balance in general, because sometimes I can get too overwhelmed or too anxious, or sometimes I can just be sad, or I can be angry, or I can just be overly happy. It's like all over the place. So I need to learn to find that balance within my emotions as well.
Balance. Yes.
Say that you say it.
Clowning way too much. Are you lit?
It's not my foot.
What is it?
Right? Are you lit?
I
What
don't
the hell
know.
is happening?
I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna answer
Who
the
made her
question.
the spokesperson?
That's what I'm saying.
She volunteered.
Nah, who
she
handed her a
volunteered.
Tribute. Okay.
Get this bitch some water.
Would I say I'm a good woman? I would say I am a good woman. I can say I can definitely become a better woman, but I know I'm a good woman. What makes me a good woman? Because
You hold shit down.
I would say I'm a good woman because I know that some of the characteristics that we named I do have.
Yes.
Like the selflessness and being able to make sacrifices for somebody that you do care about. I do have that. I will say that I could definitely work on my emotional support, my self-awareness, and I could work on, there's a lot of things that I could work on, but we just keep getting better. Yeah, but I would consider myself a good woman. Everybody has their
because
everybody
there'll be
has their
some
issues.
people out here.
Listen,
Okay,
Like,
really
I know
shit
some
like
people.
they ain't even half of me.
Okay, I know some people that like don't give a damn about nothing.
Yeah.
So I think I'm a good woman.
What about you, Kay?
I'm confident in the woman that I am. But again, like what they are saying, I know that I'm good and I know I can be better. Me, I'm the one that I'm so confident in who I am that I feel like I don't need anybody else around me. And I have to stop that because people need people. And that is my biggest downfall of why I have not found my person, because I've not been open to allowing myself to find anybody.
Yeah, girl, don't be a know-it-all.
Yeah.
Everybody can learn something from anybody.
Exactly. And that has been like my biggest focus this past year. Like personally, I never shared, like that was my biggest like resolution coming in to 2021. My biggest resolution of 2021 was being more open and just learning to sit back, appreciate moments and whatnot.
Absolutely.
Still working on it.
Good stuff. We're being extremely vulnerable with y'all because really it ain't y'all's business what I need to work on, but you know, we're going to tell you guys 'cause in the spirit of Fyne Girls. Spirit of Fyne Girls. It's like, alright, so are good women disappearing? Are they hard to find? What do you guys think?
I think they're hard to find because a lot of good women, you know, especially in nowadays, like, I feel like with society, it's always society be messing everybody up, but it's like we see all of this stuff in the world that it's like all the good women, they just kind of reserve themselves. They've kind of just stepped back and they're like, you know what, I'm just gonna do me, I don't need anybody else, and we're just gonna make it happen.
You get hurt and it changes you.
Yes, that too.
Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse.
And because also nowadays you don't really see much, you know, about how to treat a woman. And for that, like, you just see, like, you hear this music and you know, it's talking about having sex with women and, you know, drinking and doing drugs and like all this stuff, but you don't really hear like the R&B music that's like, you know, like, let me love her, let me marry her, you know, all this stuff. So
Y'all gonna hear it from me,
right? Period. Because I love my R&B, but it's like I just think that we're hard to find. I don't think it's that we're disappearing.
Yeah, that's what I wouldn't say. The good woman is disappearing either. It's just there's so many different variations of her.
Yes.
Say that. People think like somebody can say I'm a good woman, but say you're not. Somebody could say Jada's a good woman, but say you're not. Or, but it's just so different depending on people. So she's not disappearing. It's just.
It all depends on what you think.
Yeah, exactly. It's about finding your woman.
Yeah,
that's all part of life.
I don't feel like good women are disappearing. Well, it depends. I would say it like this because a lot of the times a woman
is different.
A lot of the times a woman will be good to a man in a relationship, and she will get dogged out. So she will change, and then they're going into the next relationship. She's now what's considered a bad woman because she's insecure and she's got all this quote unquote baggage, and now she's projecting all of the things that she's gone through on the next man, and it may not be his fault. And now she's coming off like she's not a good woman to him. Because a lot of things that she's been through when she was the perfect person to somebody who just didn't appreciate her, didn't see her worth or her value. So I won't say that they're necessarily like disappearing, but I feel like honestly any woman can be a good woman. It just honestly depends upon, as a partner, how much are you willing to uplift her, hold her up, because we have to do the same thing for our men. And there's not really anything. There's not really a book on. I mean, there are probably books on it, but on how to treat how to treat a man, because you kind of just go off of the things that you've seen growing up, and you accidentally project that onto your partner, and it's not anything that's intentional or doesn't make you a good woman. It's just that we're all learning, and especially in our 20s, we're finding ourselves, and we're trying to get over things from our childhood because we're in relationships so young, and it's just a lot going on. So I won't even say that there's such thing as a bad woman. Everybody just got to be loved a little different.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, unless you just like don't care about nobody else, but then you just work on your selfishness and you kind of be a little bit less selfish if you like that. But yeah, that's my take on that question. So do you guys think the majority of men fumble good women? Well, we just kind of just hit that.
Say one more time.
Do you think majority of men fumble good women?
I don't think so. I don't think majority of men do, because like I will always say, there are good men out there. But also sometimes, you know, the women can be the problem, you know. But I wouldn't categorize it as like majority of men fumble a good woman. I just don't think that they were the right fit for each other.
Yeah.
And there's always somebody else out there better.
I don't know. I feel like I want to say yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
Bad men fumble good women. Like, if you're a good guy, you can't fumble anything. It can be both. It can be two components going into a, you know, two good people contributing to a bad outcome.
Yeah, but maybe it's just because of my experience. But I want to say yes.
Now,
or what I've seen, I want to say yes. I've seen women in my family who I would consider good women be fumbled. So I want to say yes, because I feel like I've seen a lot of it, and not to say it wasn't a good man, but yeah, I've seen some men drop the ball and some good women.
Yeah,
and especially if they acknowledge it too after the fact. Because in my personal experience, there's not one ex that has told me, yeah, I was better off without you or whatever. Everybody has said, like, yeah, I fumbled. I messed up. It's becoming a routine now. Like, yeah, you gave me that disclaimer in the beginning. Like, if I fumbled or whatever, like, I would acknowledge that I fumbled. And now here I am a year later or whatever the case is, I fumbled.
Yeah.
Now, they don't need to know that I take things away out the relationship of what I could have did better, but...
Did you answer, Reed?
No. Do I think majority of men fumble good women? Yes and no.
Yeah, I was kind of torn on it.
Yes and
It's
no.
definitely happening.
I think that a lot of the times we don't necessarily see what goes on behind closed doors in everybody's relationship. I don't think that majority of men fumble good women. I think a lot of women dealing with trauma also like fumble good men. Like it goes, like it's literally a cycle. If you're a good woman and somebody fumbles, you're gonna automatically not be the best to the next person because you're scared.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be hard. Like if you just went through a relationship where you got cheated on all the fucking time, you're not gonna go into your next relationship being the most trusting person because of how the last person did you, which makes it hard for the next man. But it's just the truth. The same thing with a man. If you come in from a relationship where a woman consistently treated you like crap, and then somebody's treating you well, you may even self-sabotage yourself and be like, no. Like, and women do it too. We self-sabotage ourselves. Like, so I'll say it's 50-50. I think it's good. I think there's good men fumbling good women. I mean, I think there's men that are fumbling good women because they're not yet where they need to be mentally. And I think there are women who are fumbling good men because they're not mentally where they need to be. So I'll say that goes both ways. Is it hard for a good woman to find love? And why? Maybe we should keep these gender specific to women because we definitely spoke women in the last video.
Yeah.
So I would say yes, because for a good woman isn't going to take any man. There's going to be qualifications that she is going to have for this man because she knows what she deserves, she knows what she wants, and
Standards.
won't take anything that's not that. So I think it could be difficult because a lot of men, not a lot of men, there's men who aren't going to want to change ways or things to be with you. And she will just be like,
Yeah.
So I would say probably, I wouldn't say yes, I'd say kind of.
So, is it hard for a woman to find love and why? I will say a little bit because once you have standards, there are only so many men that are going to fit into that category. So, and yeah, and then also like you have to think like women who think of themselves highly ain't going to just go with whatever.
Facts.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of whatever out there.
It's me. I'm women.
I agree with you.
Hey.
She not just gonna let any man get it. She has
I'm just not. Ain't nobody.
Yeah.
No, like woman who loves and respects herself is just gonna just go for anything. Sorry, they're not. So it can be a little bit harder. That pool's a little bit more shallow than just, oh, you fun, let me chill with you. Oh, you fun, let me fuck you. Like no, it's not gonna be like that. So that's my answer.
I agree with you.
So, I'm going to say no because I feel as if there are different versions of love. So it all depends on the kind of love that you are looking for. Are you looking for love like relationship, like but like, boyfriend, girlfriend, you want to get married? Or are you looking for love that the person who just takes you out to dinner? Are you looking for love where you just want to have, sexual relations? There are different versions of love. So I would say no, because there's a lot of women out there, especially good women, who only want certain types of love. So that's why I'll say no, because you can get any version of love anywhere.
See, but then I have a follow-up question. So on that, but then everybody's response is, well, you can't find because you shouldn't be looking. You have to let it find you. So in response to that, if you just keep finding, or all these people keep getting brought to you or whatever, and it's not what you're looking for, then what's the answer for that one?
Well, it's like, because you wouldn't accept the love if it wasn't the love that you were looking for.
Even if it was in your face.
Even if it was. Mm-hmm. So I feel like for that, like, you know, if it is, you know, sexual relations, if it is, you know, whatever the love is, I just feel as if it is. Like, it's like it doesn't have anything to do with, you know, whether you went and found it yourself or if it was brought to you. And because love is love at the end of the day.
True. But unfortunately, I will say this. Every woman, and y'all can disagree if y'all want to, I'm telling the damn truth. Every woman has a type. And you will find the same issue in different men over and over until you may, I don't know, maybe if you like, until you're fully open. See, that's the thing. It may come to you, but you have to be open and want to accept someone else's flaws, because then that is considered real love. Once you're willing to do that and accept somebody else's flaws, then, you know, you'll find real love. But it's, people look at certain things differently. Like, somebody could say, oh, I'm not accepting this flaw, I'm not accepting this flaw because I don't want to settle. Reality is, everybody has flaws. Nobody's perfect. So, I mean, you just kind of figure out the person that you feel is worth it, honestly. And you ride it out with them for the long haul. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess that's how I feel about it.
No, I agree, because I think a good woman probably isn't always like, oh, he's not doing what I want, and just drop it. Like, shoot, they're patient. Like, a good woman.
Yeah, that patience is definitely a big part of love, because.
But not too patient.
Not too patient. Don't just accept anything. But, I mean, you know, just know that, like, there are going to be flaws in any relationship. There's going to be, hell, you're going to make them, they're going to make them. But you just have to figure out who's worth it on those bad days. Yeah. As much as those good days.
I agree. So.
Yep.
Yeah, the MC girl.
All right.
Did I get my answer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did? Yeah. I mean, I agreed. Like, with Nique.
Yeah. So you think it is hard for?
Yeah. You do.
I think it is hard. Yeah, because I feel like there's like a lot of cover-ups nowadays. Like, people say what they want, then you get involved with somebody, and then
they lie.
Exactly, they lie.
But you know that you don't want a liar in a man, so you gotta drop his ass.
Exactly, and then it's kind of like a repeated cycle. Like, there's a lot of I can't even think of the word, but there's just a lot of dishonest people, like, in today's world.
Yes.
And it makes it hard.
And
then, you know, like, it's hard as a woman I consider myself to be a good woman. I feel like it's harder because you know a not shit ass nigga. Like, you see him, you know what I mean? So obviously, like, you curve them, but then, like, you think you found, like, the good guy or whatever.
And they still be no shit.
Exactly. You know?
It's a problem.
And then you try to reflect on yourself of, like, well, shoot, like, how did I miss that? Because I'm somebody that has seen this multiple times. So it's very different. Like, it's very hard to find people that have the same goals, mindset, everything that you do. Yeah. You know, you can deal with somebody that's working on themselves to get a good job or something like that, but if it's somebody that doesn't have the right mentality, that's some shit that you can't fix. And like Rick said, you keep finding, like, some of those things that you don't have to settle
whether
for.
Whether it reveals themselves early on or later on, it is the same issue. You have to, but honestly, I'll say this, I feel like when that happens, what you have to do, and I'm not just speaking for you, I'm speaking for everybody in general, you have to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, you know what? Every single time, or not every single time, but just like very often I'm having the same issue, but it's with a different guy. What is it within myself that is either attracting this, or what is it that I'm putting out that, you know, this is coming back to me? Or what are the lessons that I can learn from these relationships, or whatever the case may be? Once you do that, you go back to the drawing board, you talk to yourself, you change some things about yourself, you become more open about different things that you may not have been open to before, and you actually, like, look in the mirror and say, you know what, if I stop doing this XYZ or whatever the case may be, I'm gonna attract this, you know, because everything that you put out is what you're going to receive back. Right. You know what I mean? Right. At some point in time, it's going to come back to you. Exactly. So if you keep, like, running into people who just aren't shit, like, a lot of it is because, you know, people are deceitful and things like that, but you have to figure out what's in you. Like, I know
Because you have to be the same person
Yeah, like
that
I
you got
have
to attract.
Exactly.
Right. I have a healing spirit. So when not even with like men, and it's kind of off the subject, but I'll just go ahead and say it because we're already talking about it. I have a healing spirit, so you have to know what you'll attract. Like I'll attract people who probably
Broken.
are a little are a little bit messed up and traumatized, whatever case may be, because I know that I have a healing spirit, but I'm okay with that
Right.
because I know myself.
Exactly.
But you have to just kind of figure out what it is that you're putting out that isn't allowing for you to find the right person.
Exactly.
So
And I think that's the hardest thing, like especially with
the
society.
self-evaluation and the
Because-
self-reflecting and self-work is the hardest thing, because if you want to find a different type of person, you have to do different shit.
Yeah.
You can't keep doing the same thing. You can't keep
Exactly.
being the same
It's
person.
literally
expecting-
insanity.
And I think it's hard for people too, because it even goes broader than just relationships. It's your circle. If you keep having the same people informing you like, oh yeah girl, like it's them and it's the men and these men are trash and all this and that, but you're not finding the right circle that's going to tell you, y'all are going to tell me personally if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And that's what, like goes hand in hand, like I said, with my resolution in the beginning of this, is I had to take a step back, like, hold up, no more dating, no more accepting numbers, no more giving out my numbers, no more going out and talking to men. I need to find something within me.
Mm-hmm.
And then if this keeps, we're going to keep going back to the drawing board, because it can't just be men.
Right.
That's that self-reflection of, let me figure out what's going on
Right.
with me, because just like Reek said, like it's about what is attracting, and about switching up, your scenery. It can be all the way down to your job.
Yeah.
You could be sucking the life out of people, and maybe that's why they're going out and finding something in, other ways, because there's something that you're lacking when you're coming home. It's a number of things. It's not just the men. Like there are some bad, messed up men out here. But coming from somebody that's been hurt by a lot of them, I know I've probably done my, fair amount as well.
But just as much as there are bad men, there's also good men.
Exactly.
Too. But this ties into like the characteristics that make a good woman, and that's why integrity will always be something that makes a good woman, because you have to be self-accountable. You have to take accountability. Yes, you have to take accountability for your own actions. And you have to look within yourself and really understand like how you are treating other people.
Yeah, you have to be able to see it, and that's why it's so important to be with somebody who calls you out on your shit.
Exactly.
Literally, like
or not even just be with somebody either. Like have a friendship.
Yeah,
that somebody will be that person. Like listen, like you're wrong.
Yep.
You're doing this. You're doing that. But also be respectful about it in a way whenever you talk about it. But also whenever you're receiving that, you can't be that person to be mad. You can't be that person to be ready to jump the gun.
Yeah.
Like you have to really sit and be patient and really listen. And listen to understand, not listen to respond.
And I think
it's hard, y'all.
Exactly. And I think another thing, and I hate to say it, but I'm going to go ahead and say it, as women, we're all early 20s. We've not hit that part of mid-20s. And a lot of men... Yeah, that's true. We're kind of arguing up there, damn.
Yeah.
But anyways,
No, we're
bottom
not.
line,
Stop saying that.
we are in our 20s, and therefore... we are able to take things from experiences and figure out and tailor, do I need to do something with me? Do I need to look for something else? And it's a combination of all.
But I'm glad that we're taking our time to do that in our 20s, because there are a lot of women will not take time to really self-reflect.
They won't.
Until they get older, and by that time, it's like they're kind of already set in their ways, and they're wondering like, damn, why am I alone? Why am I not married yet? Why am I still single?
That is the part
you know
that's
what I mean?
disappearing within women. I will say that, going back to the other question. But
Accountability.
then also, I think it's harder for men. That's why I think it's harder to find good men, just for that simple fact that a lot of men don't have this mentality yet, because they're not in that phase of their life.
Move your pride out of the way. For real, it's a relationship killer. And I personally have that problem.
It would be the death of you.
Right. Move your pride aside, because let me tell y'all, your girl is prideful. I'm being vulnerable with y'all. I am. I'm very prideful, okay?
But we all can be.
And if you know me, you know that. So, move your pride out of the way, because a lot of the times your pride is in the way of you actually giving out the love that you want so much.
Quit blocking your blessings.
Facts.
All right, that's enough of that. Are good women appreciated?
by the right kind of man, I guess.
Yeah.
I can say this one is.
Period. Period.
But I've been in situations where I haven't been appreciated. But I don't know if I'd call myself a good woman back then. But
I mean, you have to.
I think good woman is like a general statement.
Acknowledgement
Yeah,
is important though. Like if I'm like I'm the type of woman like I need to feel appreciated for the things that I'm doing for you. So if I'm going out of my way to do this, that, and the third, and you say that you recognize it, I need you to show me that you recognize it. Like take me on a date. I'm not saying like a reward. Well, it's kind of like a reward.
Yeah,
but I need acknowledgement for the things that I'm doing because I'll acknowledge you. And it makes it that much better. Like, people can say, oh, I don't need acknowledgement, whatever the case may be. But imagine how it feels. Okay, let's say there's leaves outside. And you went and raked the yard. And you worked very, very hard. And somebody comes past and they don't really, they don't acknowledge, they don't acknowledge it. They don't say anything. You're going to be like, damn, but I just did all this work. But, I mean, you still know in your heart that what you did was good. It's like, okay, whatever. But imagine how it would make you feel if they're like, damn, you raked the hell out of that yard. You'd be like, yeah, I did. Thanks, I was working all day. You know what I mean? So, I'm the type of female that needs acknowledgement and reassurance,
So, I think that...
Words of affirmation.
Boom. Yes, and that is a form of appreciation.
This goes into the love languages, you guys. This is why it's so important to understand your love language. Everybody has a different love language. I'm definitely really big on words of affirmation. So tell me that I'm doing good. Tell me that you're proud of me. Tell me that I'm beautiful. I need to hear these things.
A lot of us didn't hear that coming up. So we need it as adults.
Are you guys talking about different kinds of appreciation?
Yeah.
I'm like,
because somebody can show that they appreciate you by buying you something.
Right.
Somebody can show that they appreciate you by
So would you say
acts of
good women are
service?
appreciated?
Sometimes.
Would you say good women are appreciated?
I believe so, yes.
Me too. Well, and when I would go along with what you said, because if it's not just of course everybody has their own requirements of a good woman, but I think a good woman is appreciated if he sees it. If he thinks, oh, this is a good woman, I don't want her to go anywhere. Yes, it really would be according to him. Yeah. And
but there are good women who aren't appreciated too.
Yeah.
So it's just all about you as a person, how you were brought up. The way I was brought up, if I see somebody went out of their way to do something, I'm going to thank you, and I'm going to be appreciative of it. I'm going to thank you because I come from very humble beginnings, okay? So I appreciate any time somebody shows an effort because I understand that nobody in this world don't owe you anything. They don't owe you nothing. And so when somebody actually takes the time to do something for you or to show you that they care about you, it could be your friend, a family member, a boyfriend, whatever, if they actually take the time out of their day to show you that they actually care about you and appreciate you or whatever the case may be, don't take it for granted. That's a form of appreciation. So,
and especially because time is the most valuable currency in the world. So if somebody is spending even a second with you or on you, appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess that's that, y'all.
Last thoughts, everybody?
I don't have anything. That was a good one. I appreciate that. It's good to hear us just kind of talk about the things we need to work on, so that. Not that I felt like I was the only one with things to work on.
No, it opens your eyes because you might see something and might be hard on yourself about something, but somebody else can say, no, you're good on that, but here, try this, try working on this. That helps tremendously.
Yeah.
I won't lie, I appreciate y'all though.
Yeah. Love you, ladies.
I do.
And these types of talks are the talks I love to have because it really helps with my self-growth. And I know all of us, we're really focused on that right now. Is how can we grow? How can we improve ourselves, especially within our relationships, within friendships, within life? So, but yeah, so I appreciate these kinds of talks. It really opens my eyes to a lot of things.
All right, y'all. So without further ado, thank y'all so much for tuning into our video. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to our channel to get more content. Make sure you guys definitely comment below, letting us know what you think a good woman is. And that is stamped by the Fyne Girlz.
Yes, it is.
Bye.